Hello everyone. In my last tutorial, I have explained like how we are going to define the different types of properties in application properties whenever we are creating any Spring Boot project. So I explained like how we are going to define those properties and what are the like different types of properties we can define in application.properties file. Now, actually, basically today I'm going to explain how we are going to fetch any particular properties file from properties file like properties field values into our program. Like suppose we have defined certain properties and those are basically required when our application is getting run. So for example, we have defined this application dot path like this one. So how like we will get these values into our application? Like maybe whenever we are doing some API is developed and while we're doing writing some business logic, so maybe in this scenario or in this particular situation, we need this kind of properties values. Okay, then how we are going to fetch those values into our program? So for that, for reading these values basically, we will create one configurations file. So how we are going to create this configuration file? I will show you. So over here we will create one configuration class. So let's say the name is external configuration. Okay. So we will annotate this class with @configuration annotation. There is a one already, this is the existing annotation, this one configuration, and this is belongs to the org.springframework.context.annotation. Okay, so that means it will be treated as a like configuration class. So how we are going to read this particular value? Like there are a lot of values, so these are the basically unique key. So using these key values we will fetch the details over here. How we are going to doing this one? Like private string, for example path. Okay, and here @value annotation we are going to use. This is the value annotation, not the Lombok one. Yeah, we need to focus on this one, org spring framework beans.factory.annotation. Here actually we are going to define the path. However, there is syntax like dollar, then double quote, and here basically we are going to copy this name. We need to copy this name and then paste over here. We can create the getter and setter. Okay, I'm like for just just explaining the things actually, I have taken only single properties over here. We can define all the properties what are the defined over here. We can take all the properties over here, we can define, and based on the like whenever it is required we can get the value. Now suppose if we want to print this data, so how we are going to print this data? So let's create one controller class, for example like test controller. Okay, and the annotation will be a REST controller, and then also you can provide the request mapping. It will be a like slash API. Okay, here we can create one like API public void get properties. Okay, and it will be a get mapping. Here basically we need to inject this particular configuration. So how we are going to inject? By using the AutoWare private external configuration. Okay, now here configuration dot get path. Okay, we need to print this one. Here we can print the value path. Okay, okay, so now if we need to just start this application, and then from the postman we can call this particular API, and then it will print the data over here. So it will start soon. It started, and it started in 8081 port. Okay, and we can call this API. We are getting 200 response. Now let's see the log. We can provide some mapping over here, slash get prop. Okay, now slash get prop, getting 200. Now let's see. You can see it's printing the values over here, right? Previously also printed, but I just overlooked. So that means with this one we can easily get the data over here. So this is the way basically you can get the data using from the properties file we can easily read data. Now the second thing whatever the we can discuss over here, like the properties file, the particular value actually that can be different based on the environment. Like maybe if we are having two different types of environment, like one is the development and another one is the stage. So based on the environment, the path or maybe some username password, so those can be different. So how we are going to load the different types of properties file based on the environment, and also like how we are going to define the define or how what is the naming convention for keeping the environment wise properties file. So for that, like we can simply define application hyphen environment dot properties file in the resource directory, and then like we need to set the Spring profile with the environment name. Like if we define like maybe for example staging, then we need to set the staging profile like application hyphen staging and dot properties. This env file will be loaded and will take precedence over the default property file. Okay, so let me explain to you all the things over here. So let's say I'm just renaming this one application hyphen dev. Okay, so this is for the dev. Let me copy this one and paste it, and we need to give the name as stage. Okay, so these two different types of properties we have defined over here, and we can define the test or part the stage here, and for dev it will be dev. Okay, now based on the environment basically uh, it will print the data, right? What it is saying, cannot resolve the path. Okay, let me rerun it again. Okay, there is another property also you need to keep over here. Okay, now actually we need to define the properties file in somewhere in the argument. So how we are going to define this one here, basically not over here, running configuration here in the arguments. So minus d. So for defining the different types of environment, there are three options. Like either we can defining, because this is the main properties file, right? So here basically we can define one property. So based on that it will load what profiles basically it will be load, or maybe as an argument also we need to pass. So let me show you this option, like spring dot profiles profiles dot active equals to dev. So that means it will load the dev properties. Let me run the application, and you can see the following one profile is active dev. Okay, so that means it is loading the dev properties. Okay, it started. Let me run the application. It's working, and the path is its path for the dev, because if we check the in dev one, so it's a dev. Okay, now if we change from uh, here, change from dev to stage stg, then let me see it is showing the one profile active for the stage, right? And now if we run this one, now you can pin the stage properties file. Okay, because we are having this stage property over here, stage 4. So in this way basically we can load different types of profiles based on this like uh, we can select the profiles over here. So based on this we can load different types of properties whenever it is required. And because in real application basically this properties very help us. In properties file we can keep different types of properties which are basically needs in our nowadays every time. Like if we are keeping some database related thing, so obviously database username and password will be different based on the environment, right? So this is the very useful application example actually for load the different types of properties file based on the environment or based on the profile. So this is a very good example. So in this way basically we can use those things. In this way basically we can load different types of properties file based on the environment. This is overall things like for loading the different types of properties file and how we are going to read data from the properties file. So this is one of small application that I have created. If you guys like, please subscribe and like my videos. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thanks for your time. Bye bye.